The Clever Merchant and the Sultan's Riddle, a tale of wisdom and fortune. In the grand city of Isfahan, where markets buzzed with merchants and storytellers, there lived a humble but clever merchant named Jafar. He was known not for his riches but for his wit and wisdom, which often helped him outsmart even the wealthiest traders. Jafar spent his days trading fine silk and exotic spices, but he never let greed cloud his judgment. He believed that knowledge was the most valuable currency. His reputation spread far and wide, and people often sought his advice on matters of trade and life. One day, the mighty Sultan of Persia, known for his love of riddles and intellect, announced a challenge to the people. Whoever can solve my riddle shall receive a fortune beyond imagination, but those who fail will lose everything they own. The city erupted into whispers and debates. Many wealthy nobles, scholars, and merchants eagerly rushed to the palace, confident in their abilities. But one by one they failed, losing their gold, businesses, and even their freedom. Hearing of this, Jafar decided to take the challenge. Unlike the others, he did not see this as a mere gamble, but as a test of wisdom. He prepared himself by studying old texts and recalling the tales of the wise men before him. On the day of the challenge, Jafar entered the grand palace, where the Sultan sat on a golden throne surrounded by advisors and guards. The hall was silent as all eyes turned to him. The Sultan leaned forward and spoke. A thing that devours all, birds and beasts, trees and flowers, gnaws iron, bites steel, grinds hard stones to meal, slays kings, ruins towns, and beats mountains down. What is it? A heavy silence filled the room. The advisors exchanged nervous glances. Many had heard this riddle before, but no one had ever answered correctly. Jafar, however, smiled. He took a deep breath and replied confidently, "Time." The Sultan's eyes widened in astonishment. He remained silent for a moment before bursting into laughter. Indeed, time destroys all things, and yet it is also the greatest teacher. True to his word, the Sultan granted Jafar a fortune in gold and jewels. The courtiers murmured in awe, and the city soon celebrated Jafar's brilliance. But Jafar was wise. Instead of keeping all the riches, he distributed much of his wealth to the poor, built schools and libraries, and used the rest to expand his trading business. His wisdom and generosity earned him not only respect but also the trust of the Sultan, who later made him his royal advisor. Through his wit, Jafar secured not just wealth, but a lasting legacy of knowledge and fairness. His story became a lesson for generations to come. True riches are not measured in gold, but in wisdom, generosity, and the impact we leave behind. Moral of the story: wisdom is the greatest treasure, and true success comes from using it wisely.